Hello guys and girls, and welcome back to the racing line. We are here. It is the final. We've made it. I cannot believe we're here. It feels like it's been a long time coming, but at the same time it's absolutely flown by. 12 rounds later, 2 test days later, and here we return to Watkins Glen, but this time with a different layout. A somewhat phallic looking layout, shall we say, from the track map. Just on your screens you can see that we have started our new competition today. It's the final live round for season 1, the Volkswagen Jetta Cup, here on the racing line. But the road to 3,000 subscribers begins now. Competition time. The target, 3,000 subscribers by the first week of October 2021. How do you enter? Simple. Dan Thornton says hello in the bottom right of the screen there. Did you see his car? How to enter? Subscribe. Get others to subscribe. Obviously, if they want to and they would play iRacing would help. You don't just want random people and spamming their inbox with racing guides and all sorts of racing activities, shall we say. What could you win? Last time, you won a car or track of your choice. That will be the same this time round, and you will get an official race that you take part in. So at some point, when you take part in an official race on iRacing, I'll jump in, watch the whole thing, and we'll broadcast it live on the channel. So you better pick a series that you'll be good at so that you get your moment to shine on the channel here. If you didn't get to take part in the Volkswagen Jetta Cup, then this is your moment to be shouted out and to be watched and focused upon on here on the Racing Line channel, by which time there should be 3,000 people watching you. 3,000 subscribers. It's the next target. Of course, thank you all for the support thus far. 2,100 subscribers and counting. Welcome, Vosset says, go Lurchus. Of course there's support for Lurchus, always. Riley has popped in to say hello again. And of course, Kadered, what's up, my nerds? The usual intro for himself. Let's have a look. What's happening? Practice is about to end, and this is what the times look like. There's literally 50 seconds left, and it's looking fairly close. Look at the Lurchus gaming cars all together. On track. 40 seconds. I'll wait till the 40 seconds ticks over, and I'll go through some... I just have noticed, actually, you might not be able to hear the cars. They're not that quiet. They're not electric. There we go. Let's get some engines on the go. I'll go through, once the clock ticks over into qualifying, we will have a look at the standings, the constructors' standings and the drivers' standings, of course. There is also some news to be had, at least. Go Henry, says Riley. Kadered says ORD for the win. ORD. They have done extremely well, and they've actually gained a position, I believe, since last time, which I'll confirm for you. Just waiting for that time to tick over. There it goes. So we'll be going into qualifying any moment now. Cheers, iRacing. There we go. 12 seconds later. It's weird that iRacing didn't mind kicking us out of a session a bit earlier in the season for round 6, did they? But 12 seconds late in practice, no worries. Everyone will be flying out the pit lane, I'm sure. There's Kieran Dempsey, the independent driver, the only Irish driver on the grid. Very nice looking car, matte black, chrome Irish flag. It looks like Jake Cranston's out up ahead of him. We'll go on board with Kieran, actually, whilst we're driving round. This is obviously only an outlap. This is what it looks like from his perspective. Warming up his tyres. Following your championship leader, Jake Cranston. Or is he just the championship leader? That's the question. Is that just what he is? Or is he something else? Is he perhaps the first Volkswagen Jetta Cup champion? Let's go through. I'll tell you what. Let's have a look at this. This is what we need to have a look at. Constructors first, as usual. It's pretty much done at the top end. As we've said, Pulsars Esports are your Constructors Champions for this season, with all 3 drivers regularly scoring a decent amount of points and giving them a 500-point lead, pretty much, what it looks like, Nearly, well, it's just over 400, but still, it looks like 500 with 800 and 1300. Win it or bin it, look to have a decent hold on second. It could be taken from them today. You just never know. Hello, Goodstudge93. Thanks for joining in the YouTube chat. Yeah, win it or bin it could lose second still. It's fairly close for second. However, what's even closer is ORD and Masters of Talk for third place in the Constructors. Only 3 points separate them. And of course, the drop round is still to be playing for right now, so it's not all the end of the world. But ORD actually passed Masters of Talk last time round by 3 points. It's really close. Meatball Lovers look to have a firm grasp on 5th. Lurchers Gaming in 6th, with All Sports Racing in 7th, and JP Simsheds in 9th. 8th, sorry. I was looking at a different screen. Can't count. I'll get over it. Right, drivers' standings. Show us the drivers. Show us the drivers. Go Team ORD, says Fionn Smith. Supporting my man Joshua Germany as usual, says Goodstudge93. I'll tell you what, in practice, your man Joshua Germany was actually, I don't want to put pressure on him, but he was looking quite good. Surprisingly good here at Watkins Glen, the Cup layout. Here's your championship standings though. First place, Jake Cranston for Masters of Talk, 553 points, with Stephen King in second for Pulsar Esports, 487. Now, I would like to add, for Stephen to win today, go on Foxy lad, says Jack Werrell commentary. Thanks for joining, Jack. Foxy, he's been doing all right as well. Here for Mr. Cranston, of course, says Ellen Brown. Look at you all jumping in the YouTube chat as the times start tumbling up on the qualifying board. There's only 5 minutes left, but we need to go through these standings orders. Commentators curse. No, I'll tell you what. So Stephen King needs to score 66 points more than Jake Cranston's lowest scoring round, which is 33, which is impossible. So there you have it, folks. You heard it here first. Your first season Volkswagen Jetta Cup champion is, in fact, Jake Cranston for Masters of Talk. We said it last time out. We can now confirm it. He's here for fun today. No pressure on him at all. However, the real battle, you could say Henry Morse has an alright grasp on third with 431 points. But look at the battle for fourth place with Ryan Smith, our youngest driver. The driver for ORD, 399 points. 1 point away from 400. Behind him, 10 points behind, is Joshua Germany. So he's looking to secure fourth in the championship. And if he can, it'll make it a Pulsar's 2-3-4. That would be impressive. John Bailiff's only 2 points behind him, though, for Win It or Bin It in 6th. Donny Alpha Henriksen in 7th. Jared Kaler 8th. Jeremy Agard in 9th. With Chris Smith, the other ORD car, in 10th place. Morgan Burkhardt, currently fastest in qualifying, sits down in 11th place. Kieran Dempsey 12th. And Andy Fox, Jack Werrell commentary, is down there in 13th at the moment with 271 points. But he could still gain a position. Ray Oliver, who I don't think... Maybe he's overslept. It's very early out in Australia, so maybe he's having a lay-in. But he is not here at the moment. 261 points, which means Ika Lequay could actually claim 14th at this rate. He's only a couple points behind his Ika for Lurchers Gaming. Martin Wallace isn't here either for personal reasons out in the USA. Win It or Bin It, 225 points. Jesus Amundere, 17th. Sebastian Hallmichael in 18th place. Just rounding off that bottom end is Peter Jones, Meatball Lovers, Dan Thornton for ORD, the third driver, Jan Weiswanger, independent driver in 21st, Christian Ribeiro for Lurchers Gaming, Thomas Berlin in 23rd, with Jack Lewin rounding off the field in 24th place. Right, now, that is enough talking about the constructors. There's 3 minutes left. We've been on board with Kieran Dempsey all this time, but what has been happening? Morgan Burkhardt is currently your pole sitter. I'll tell you what, I just need to have a quick look. Has Morgan Burkhardt had a pole position before? No. So if Morgan Burkhardt keeps pole position today, he's only 100th ahead of Henry Morse, who regularly pops up there on the American tracks. American driver, of course, is Henry Morse, as is Morgan Burkhardt, you can see in the bottom right. We'd have a new pole sitter for the final round. That would make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pole sitters in 12 rounds. Impressive stuff, but it's not over yet. Could also add to our 8 winners. Morgan has got a win under his belt. We're looking for a 9th new winner today, of course, potentially. And there are 14 different podium sitters we've had this season, with 10 different people fighting for fastest laps. Only one driver has had 0 penalties. Donny Alpha Henriksen currently sits in 7th place. That's what the gaps look like for quali times. A 10th separating the top 4. That's going to frustrate them, isn't it? Well, it's not frustrating. It is what it is. It's been close all season. How can it be frustrating? Just having a quick look at chat, see if I missed anything on Twitch. You can see YouTube. There we go. Right, 2 minutes left, 1 minute left even. 6:56, 1 minute left to qualify. Morgan Burkhardt currently 100th exactly. That's impressive. 100th exactly. 10 thousandths ahead of Henry Morse. Where is Henry Morse? Is he still out there trying to set times? I did see the 3 Pulsars cars together. There's no one actually pulling Henry round. Dan Thornton's being pulled round there by one of the ORD cars. There's the 3 Pulsars cars coming through. Henry's actually the leader in this train, so Stephen King is behind, trying to gain that advantage. Jake Cranston, 2 temps down in 6th place. He normally pops in a lap towards the end. There's a nice see-through Marshall there. Come on, Foxy, live up to that team name. Win it or bin it. Oh, Jack, you have no idea how much they've lived up to that team name this season. Could we say that the guy with the most draft takes pole? Kind of. It looks like they've all had enough because they all, as they all pile in to the exit of turn 1. There's 2 seconds left. I mean, yeah, it does. Oh, look at the times. It does get fairly close for pole position, obviously, with Slipstream. I don't know if you spotted that. Stephen King did improve his lap time, but he did not improve his... Oh, look at my words today. He did not improve his grid position. And let's have a look why. Morgan Burkhardt. He is our new pole position sitter. Well done, Morgan. Starts first today. Henry Morse starts second, 100th behind. Kieran Dempsey only 28 thousandths of a second in third. 29 thousandths away was Stephen King. So 1 thousandth separating third and fourth. Donny Alpha Henriksen fifth. Jake Cranston, your championship winner, is in 6th. John Bailiff in 7th. He's going to have a new livery today. Let's have a look at that in a bit. Not far behind was Chris Smith and Ryan Smith for ORD. Jesus Mundere P10. Jeremy Agard and Joshua Germany, who was quick in practice, sits down in P12. That is interesting. Could it be tactics? Who knows? The rest of the grid is as follows. Ike Lequay, Peter Jones, Andy Fox in 15th, Jan Weiswanger 16th, Sebastian Hallmichael 17th, Dan Thornton 18th, Thomas Burling in 19th, and Christian Ribeiro 20th, with Jared Kaler starting in the back, doing his usual thing. This is what the grid looks like. And you can just see John Bailiff's car there, actually. It's the red one behind Stephen King, who is sat on the grid. Still waiting for Morgan to appear. Stephen King will never beat Henry. He's beat him a couple times, Riley, so that is incorrect. But here we go. 4 lights on, 5 lights. It's going to be away they go very shortly. There's Morgan Burkhardt, your pole position sitter. We don't need to see their lap times anymore, but we can keep the gaps up there. He's got a decent start as Morgan Burkhardt. Down towards turn 1 he goes, and he's got through cleanly. But how are the rest of them going to do it? Looks fairly sensible for a final round. There's Thomas Berlin. We haven't seen him for a while. He wasn't there last time, but here he is, gaining places. He's overtaken Dan Thornton at the start, so he's up into 18th place now. Remember, the top 12 get reversed as they all come flying up the hill. Look at the slipstream fest that they're having now. Down towards the chicane. It's not really an overtaking zone, but they're going through 2 by 2. This is a madness. The Pulsars boys pushing each other along, trying to get Henry ahead round the outside of chicane. It's going to be a risk. Can he get it done? Henry gets it turned in and takes the lead of the sprint race here at Watkins Glen the Cup. What a move. Stephen King pushing him along, and he manages to get through on the outside of the chicane. Wow. Good tactics, but it's not over yet. We're only 1 minute in. Morgan Burkhardt's still there. Stephen King has to settle for third. He's passed Kieran Dempsey, who is now in 4th place. So it's effectively everyone swapping positions, and still fairly clean from everyone on the same lap, the same bit of tarmac. Look, have you ever seen so many Jettas in the same shot on screen? Right spaghetti of Jettas. Donny Alpha Henriksen, I think, has had an issue back there. I think it was only a small off track because he's still involved. Here he is. He's got Jake Cranston round his outside. That's not going to work. Jake has to brake and back out of it. And now John Bailiff's going up the inside with his brand new red and chrome blue British livery. Very nice looking car that is. We can have a look at that as he comes down the straight. He's passing Alpha Henriksen as well. He's on the inside for turn 1. Can he brake later? He gets it turned in. Alpha Henriksen holds it around the outside. Jake Cranston's going to try and get the switch back as they go up the hill. I wonder if that's going to work. It shouldn't do because John Bailiff is going to have the slipstream of Donny Alpha Henriksen, but he is on the outside. And now Jake Cranston has the slipstream of Alpha Henriksen. MCAR mentioned about how the slipstream was going to have an effect in qualifying, but this is what it's like in the race. It just keeps everyone together. Can we have the splits, says Cadared. What do you mean? The times are on the screen, are they not? There's so many of them, it's not a spaghetti anymore. It's a whole lasagna. It's a big sheet. Kieran's gone deep. He's going straight on at the chicane. I wonder what's happened there. Has he got an issue? He's just pulling over. It's like his engine stalled. Maybe he outbroke himself. We'll have to have a look at that. Dan Thornton's had an off track as well. Bit of smoke there. Ryan Smith's gone round. Oh, Dan's had to cut the track there. We will actually have to look and see where that started. Oh, was that Jesus Mundere straight into the side of Joshua Germany? That is not. That was optimistic at the best. Joshua's going to come back on track. I wonder if it's the braking has just caught him out. Jeremy Agard's in the pit, so he's had an issue. Look at the bounce there. Let's have another look at that. So this is Jesus Mundere. Oh, he's on the grass. He's broke on the grass, and it sends him to the inside. I imagine Josh is going to be fairly angry, but that's not really fully Jesus' fault. The grass sent him there, but look how many people, so many fans at trackside today, says MK. Yes, there are. So many people are going to be involved in that. Ryan Smith was involved at some point. He gets tagged round by Andy Fox. Jack will like that one. Jack Werrell. Win it or bin it. Jeremy Agard also in the pit, so I wonder if he got a meatball. Let's go back live and see what's happened because Stephen King has made a move up into P2. He's passed Morgan Burkhardt. Back into the chicane again they go. It was a dangerous place. I just don't know what happened to Kieran, though. There goes Jan Weiswanger off the track. Ryan's had another off track somewhere as well. A lot of people getting feisty into the chicane. Oh, they're trying it side by side. That's where it happens. I'll tell you what, Jan was nearly done that. Nearly done it. Yes. Cadared, sorry about that. I will get that on for you now. Let's go back live. There you go. Well, I'm trying to catch up with everything that happened there. Jan Weiswanger going off the track. We haven't seen Stephen King make the move for P2. Just seeing if I can find the replay of that. Been passes all over the place. This is the problem with a slipstream heavy track. Let's go and have a look what it looks like up the front. This is what the two Pulsars boys are doing. Morgan Burkhardt is still there. Foxy doing bits, breaking bits of other people's cars. Yeah, you could say that. I mean, it wasn't his fault this time though. Morgan still firmly within the grasp of this win. 5 minutes in as they come through the chicane, bouncing through, really carry some speed there. This is the Jesus we all know, says Figuelthio, the real one. Of course, it's got to get involved. Just a slight break. I'll tell you what, Joshua Germany, though, down in 21st place. It was looking good for him. He got hyped up for a win earlier on. Liz Creates says, at Alan Brown, laughing face. Oh, about the lasagna comment. Good to see you, Liz. Donny Alpha Henriksen is actually the next cork in the bottle here. Just a little bit further back. He's got John Bailiff for company. Jake Cranston is also still not really making any moves. Jake Cranston's staying where he is for now. I wonder if he's just settling in for a decent position for the feature. Ben Moore says, go Henry Morse Racing. He's got a lot of fans, has Henry Morse today. Your sprint race ninja, the nickname he picked up throughout the season as Alpha Henriksen goes wide. John Bailiff, Jake Cranston and Chris Smith might have a run on him now. Who's our biggest gainer of today? It's always going to be Jared Kaler, isn't it? Starting at the back. Got the most positions to gain, starting last. The next biggest gainers are actually Sebastian Hallmichael, Peter Jones and Andy Fox. All gaining 6 positions. So Andy is up 6 positions there. Chasing down Peter Jones up ahead. Peter Jones's paint scheme a little bit different today. Can't believe we're at the last race already, says Liz. I know, it's come around so fast. Look at this. This is Jake Cranston putting on the pressure. And you know what? Morgan's got back past Stephen. These passes are just keep happening. It happens in no time at all. But look at John defending from Jake Cranston here for P5 into the fast sweeping left. Jake's going to try and hold it around the outside. That's a hell of a move. He's going to have the inside for the final corner and he gets it done. Jake Cranston, that, people, is why he is your championship winner. Up into P5 and onwards he goes. Donny Alpha Henriksen's next. But it's not a done deal yet. Let's have a little quick look at these guys. They're still really fighting for this win. Morgan Burkhardt goes up the inside of turn 1 and retakes the lead. 7 minutes in. Wow. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. We're only halfway through this sprint race. We've got the feature to go and it's going to be more of the same. Although I can start to see, we can all see there's some trains forming. The top 3 in a current league of their own, 2.5 seconds clear of Donny, down in P4. They don't get it done this time into the chicane, so Morgan Burkhardt's keeping that lead, but they are not going to relieve that pressure. And Jake Cranston, he's just moved up into P4. Let's have a quick look at that. Going to be around the outside again, so people are trying to defend the inside of the chicane pretty early on. But look at the run they get. The slipstream just gives them the overspeed up the hill, turns in before they even get there. Done deal. So now Jake Cranston's free to go and try and chase down the top 3 who will be battling for the rest of this race. The more these guys battle, the more it gives Jake a chance to catch them up. So I said that he might have been waiting for a better position in the feature. It does not look like that is the case because he's chasing his way down. The gap is now 2 seconds already with 7 minutes to go. He is firmly going to catch those guys up for sure. I'll tell you who is having a good race. Thomas Berlin's up into P16. That's going to help Masters of Torque claim that extra spot, maybe back from ORD. With the highest finisher so far for them, Chris Smith up in P7. No longer in a hotel, people. He'd done the last 3 races in a hotel, took his gear with him. Not this time. I can't get over how close these guys are keeping it. 10 minutes these guys have been racing, and this is what separates them the whole time. As they both, I mean, he's a sitting duck, is Morgan Burkhardt, when these two start working together. But they can only do so much of this push-in. Morgan breaks. Henry Morse retakes the lead. Stephen King slots back into 3rd. The gap now 1.5 seconds. So half a second taken out of that lap by Jake Cranston, who is setting purple sectors, by the way. Purple sector 3 for Mr. Cranston. And Morgan now in a Pulsar Esports sandwich. And that orange car in the background, that's Peter Jones leading the next train. He's up in P8. That'll be a decent finish for Peter. One of his higher finishes of the season. I think, I could be wrong here, but that might be his joint best finish of the season. I'm sure he's finished once up there before. Lurchus Gaming not having a good day. Ika Lequay leading the way though for the Lurchus Gaming team. Christian Ribera in P17 and Yeezus down in P18. Joshua Germany can't really do anything down there in 21st as he's by himself. Just putting in the lap times. 5 seconds. 6 seconds back. As Jan Weiswanger's had a crash somewhere. What happened there? Oh, he's going to go too deep. On the grass. Spins to the left. Jerry Agard says, thank you very much. I'll take that position. That might be Jan's race over. And in comes Joshua Germany. Ooh, okay. Fairly done. Fairly done. What are the gaps saying everywhere else? This is Stephen King making a move on Morgan up to P2. Went up the inside of the chicane. Holds that together. 4 minutes left. Coming around the fast right sweeper. It's quite a short lap compared to the layout we went to before. Normally they would turn left there where those cones are. Go down and do the little twisty section. Not this time. They come straight down and join onto the hairpin, which is also there on the right hand side of your screens. And now look, the train of 3 becomes a train of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars as the rest of them get joined or joined back in. Jake Cranston led that train. He's pulling them all with him and now he's on the back. He's only 3 tenths back from Morgan Burkhardt. So it was fairly clean with the 3 of them. What's going to happen now that more of them are going to get involved to try and get positions? What they've been doing, though, they've been swapping one at a time, which is the safest way to do things. But now that there's more involved, we might see some 2x2s. John Bailiff uses all the track on the exit of turn 1. Come on, Ryan, says Fionn Smith. Ryan is currently down in P10. He's only lost 1 position from the start, but he is chasing down Jared Kaler as Stephen King is making a move for the lead here. He's going around the outside of Henry, so Henry has to cover the inside. Morgan's going to follow Stephen through. Jake's going to try and make it 3 wide. This could be very dangerous as Morgan's still on the outside of Stephen King. Henry loses 3 positions in 1 corner. He's down to 4th is Henry Morse. Stephen King takes the lead. Morgan Burkhard in 2nd, and Jake Cranston has to slot in 3rd place. How long is it going to take Jake Cranston to get past Morgan, and can Henry get back as he's under pressure from Donny back there? Is Donny going to get up the inside? No, he has to slot back in to 5th place. John Bailiff in 6th and Chris Smith in 7th place. Peter Jones is a further 8 seconds back, holding up Jared Kaler and Ryan Smith. This is what that looks like back there. So Ryan looking to gain those 2 positions, but let's not forget reverse grid feature. We reverse the top 12. So currently Sebastian Hallmichael is on pole for the feature race in 2 minutes' time. Ika Lequay will be in 2nd and Ryan Smith will be starting 3rd if it stays as it is, as Jake Cranston sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:25.21. Decent lap time there from Jake Cranston. Oh, that was actually the last lap. They've just done 26s there. You can see him sliding out. Morgan Burkhard, he's got Jake Cranston on the inside. Is that move going to get done as they go up the hill? I wonder who... Now, Stephen's got a choice here now. If we have a look from Stephen's gearbox, who's he going to give the slipstream to? Who do you reckon? His championship rival that he's been fighting with all season, Jake Cranston? Or is he going to give it to Morgan Burkhard, a very popular winner from the last round? It looks like he's going to try and pull Morgan along, but Henry's pushing Jake up the inside. No, it doesn't look like he's going to get it, but Morgan's got a run on Jake Cranston. Who's going to get turned in first as we head into the chicane? Jake Cranston might get P2. Morgan's on the inside, keeps it as they bounce over the curves. Who's going to turn into the inside of this fast right-hander? Is Jake Cranston still there? He's on his right-hand side. Morgan's still holding it around the outside. Can he keep it there and have the inside for this next corner? It's a great view from the back of Stephen King's car, isn't it? The more battling they do back there, though. Look at the second gap that he's got. Henry's now going to push Morgan through, I think, as Jake Cranston is trying to get P2. They come around the fast right-hander. Jake's still there. It looks like it's going to be a done deal. Stephen King, 1.3 second lead now because they are still side by side behind him. Donny Alpha Henriksen, he's making moves. This is white flag. This will be the last lap. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Surely not. Who's just disappeared? That's John Bailiff. So Henry Morse goes down another position. Jake Cranston slots in behind Morgan after all of that battling. So Morgan takes P2. White flag, says Kadered. King can pull it off, says Emka. He can indeed. I mean, he's got a 1.2 second lead. And it's the last lap. Now, Morgan Burkhard is going to try and defend all he can from Jake Cranston. Jake's already won the season, so he doesn't have to take any risks, but he's not taking that into consideration. He still wants to finish as high as he can as he's pushing Morgan along. Donny Alpha Henriksen behind in the slipstream. Henry Morse behind him and John Bailiff behind him, who's also John Bailiff, let's not forget, and Donny Alpha Henriksen fighting for that 4th spot in the championship, as was Joshua Germany, who's down in 20th place. He's had a right nightmare this race. Jan Weiswanger's out from the earlier crash that we've seen. Morgan Burkhard keeps the 2nd place as they go down the main straight. There's only 2 more overtaking opportunities, really, and they're not real overtaking opportunities, because can Morgan keep this 2nd place from Jake Cranston? Donny Alpha Henriksen's looking quite secure in 4th. Henry Morse in 5th. That's Stephen King up the road. John Bailiff, is he going to be optimistic and try and gain another position? As Jake goes up the inside of the final left. That's now going to be a right-hander, which Morgan is going to have the inside line for. But we've got to look at this man. It's Stephen King. He comes around the final corner. Off he goes down the main straight. Moves over, and look how close it is behind. It's going to be a photo finish once again. They all cross the line. I don't even know what order they crossed the line in. It was about 4 wide. Riley says Stephen King, boo. Well, let's say Henry Morse, boo. He's down in 5th place in the end after all of that. Whoa, Jesus Christ. And then, of course, well, not Jesus Christ, Jesus and Mundere. Look at them all. Look at the rest of the army coming down the main straight. I'll tell you what, fair play, boys. A clean race. Not many crashes at all. We feel a little bit for Jan. And obviously there was the chicane incident. What a race, says Kadered. The chicane incident all stemmed from Jesus just having 2 wheels on the grass in the in the braking zone of that chicane, and then he just gets sent round to the right. We've now got a 10-minute break, people, so if you need a drink, go and get one. If you need the toilet, you may go now. And yeah, wow, really. I mean, Joshua Germany's going to be fairly upset. Run out of gas, says Paddy. Oh no, how has he done that? He takes one round off and he forgets to load the baseline setup to have enough fuel. It happens though. We've seen it happen in the early parts of the season to other people. Speaking of Jesus, it was Jack. Yeah, I've been told that before. You've been dismissed. The bell is gone. You may go to the toilet. You set to baseline and you still run out of fuel. I'll tell you what, Paddy. You, if that is the case, you were flying and using more fuel than everyone else. Report, says Jerry. Report with all the R's. We need to have a look at the race results because, like I said, I've got no idea what just happened. At the end, it was like 4 or 5 wide across the line. Who came out on top? This is what iRacing is going to tell us. Here it is. Wow, look at that. After all of that fighting as well. Stephen King, though, we knew this part. Stephen King is your sprint race winner. 1.8 second lead in the end. Jake Cranston manages to steal second place from Morgan by less than 1/10 of a second on the line. Morgan finishes in third. Donny manages to keep fourth, and Henry Morse, less than 1/10 of a second behind Donny, takes fifth in the end. John Bailiff keeps sixth. Chris Smith in seventh. And then there was a big old gap back to Christopher Smith. Jared Kaler. Peter Jones was leading that train, so Jared got past Peter in the end. Ryan just behind him in 10th. Ika LeQuay and Sebastian Hallmichael will be starting on the front row for the feature. Vamos, Ribeiro. Apua a língua portuguesa. Portuguese? That's the best I could do, Mr. Vieira 91. I gave it a go. Commenting on YouTube is Mr. Vieira. Paddy says I hacked his setup. I don't know. I don't know. There's been a few issues actually today. We've had a few niggles in terms of overlays and stuff. Everyone's data got deleted. I had to quickly put it all back in. So there might be a few things popping up here and there, but it's definitely, I did not have anything to do with your fuel, sir. I think it's time for an interview, actually. Let's have a look at support the Portuguese language, says Mr. Vieira. Who shall we talk to? It's got to be the winner. We'll bring in Stephen King, sprint race winner, 1.8 second lead in the end. How was that, sir?
Oh, that fell brilliantly into place, didn't it? Yeah, that was a stressful race, in the beginning. I was trying my utmost in the early stages to get ahead of Morgan, just so me and Henry could try and play a team game. Once I did get ahead of him, we managed to make a little bit of a gap. The issue is, we were trying to play the team game, but I kept catching him up in the middle of the S's, and I couldn't really bump draft him, and we kept stalling out, and that's when you probably saw Morgan did us both. And then later on, I made the decision that okay, I'm going to have to overtake Henry here. And then thankfully it all fell into place after that with everybody battling behind.
That's right. I mean, it was fairly, like you said, it was close. All three of you seemed to have a nice little train and was pulling away from the rest of the field a little bit. And then once sort of Jake got released from Donny, I think it was, they managed to pull you guys back in from all the battling. And then I think it was about 3-4 wide across the line for them back there, but it helped you get a clear lead from the rest of them in the end.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, I was begging for the white flag when I saw that Morgan and Jake were side by side. I was like, please, just for the white flag, and it was. Yeah, so like I said, the timing, the stars aligned for me then. That was brilliant.
Any comments from your teammate about what happened to him? Not Henry, he was in 5th, but the other Pulsars driver is down in 20th place, I believe.
Yeah, it was really disappointing because he was dicing for the field really well. I think he had an incident with Jesus. I think Jesus tipped a wheel on the grass. And that's caused some issue, but I haven't seen it myself, so I can't really comment more than that.
Yeah, on the replay we had a quick look, and he was on the left-hand side of the track, broke on the grass. He had 2 wheels on there, and it shot him right. And then I don't know from Josh's point of view, but it might have looked like he'd sent it up the inside, but I think he was just trying to avoid. And then obviously a few people span. But yeah, decent race. Congrats on the win. Starting 12th next with Jake Cranston next to you. More of the same in the next one?
Well, I don't really know what to say because the last few races, the feature race has been awful for me. I've been caught up in something. But yeah, I don't plan to take any risks again. But if the stars align like they did in Laguna Seca, there's not really much else I can do. But yeah, let's hope for more of the same.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Thanks for speaking with us, Stephen. Just in case I don't speak to you again, is there anyone you want to say hello or thank you to before I let you go?
Thank you for watching Sean all season. You've been supporting the channel and all of us here. So a huge thank you to her, and thank you to everybody else who've watched the whole season. I hope it's been fun to watch. It's certainly been fun to participate in.
Thank you very much. We'll speak to you soon, Stephen.
Take care, Jack.
It's your sprint race winner. I'll tell you who is in the interview racing room is Ryan Smith. Let's bring him in. We haven't heard from him in a while, actually. He ended up in P10. He's going to be starting the race in P3. Ryan, how do you feel about that?
Well, at the start, it was a bit chaotic. Did a nice little 360.
Yes, you did have a little bit of a spin. So to get back up into P10, you must have been quite happy. Someone else who was caught up in that, Joshua Germany, is down in P19, I think. So you've done well to come back. But it's not all over, is it? With a P3 start in the feature, you might be on for a win here, do you reckon?
Yeah, that was what I was hoping. I was thinking in the Heat 1 to maybe stay in P12 to start first, but then I just thought I needed every point I could.
We've seen... I'm not sure... My memory's not doing me too well right now, but I'm not sure the highest position you've started in before, but Eco has definitely been at the front end of the feature for a few times. Do you reckon he'll be easy to get past?
I hope so, but I don't think he will.
Oh, we'll see what happens. Obviously, wish you the best of luck in the next race, Ryan. Whilst you're here, just in case, is there anyone you want to say hello or thank you to before I let you go?
I'd like to thank my dad for buying me the game, my uncle for buying me the track, and my whole family for watching me.
There you go. You've got some supporters in the chat as well that have said hello. So, well, good luck, Ryan, and wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you.
Ryan Smith there. P10. I forgot actually that he had that early spin. So he's done very well to to get that done. Sorry, I've just seen a comment from Cranston in the steward's room. It wasn't to do with the race. It was actually to do with practice, I think. It turns out he went round the wrong layout and got disqualified from practice. There you go. Where was I? Just people talking in chat by themselves. That's fine. You can have conversations. So where are we at then? We have got the feature race happening anytime soon. How long have we got? That's the real question. Dan Thornton and Chris Smith getting a little bit of extra practice in the cool down. There's only 30 seconds left before they start coming to the grid again. So in that time, I mean, this is what it looks like. This is what we've been through all this time as Dan Thornton practices his pit entry. There is a pit stop in the feature race, let's not forget. Round 1, Charlotte, Lime Rock, Watkins, Road, Atlanta, Okayama, Nordschleife, Oran Park, Road America, Silverstone National, Summit Point, Laguna Seca, and here we are, round 12, the final round, Watkins again. It has been a hell of a journey. Almost emotional today for this. A little bit emotional. Oh, you are... Paddy says, is P17 8 points? You are asking the wrong person, because I do not remember things at the best of times. Let me try and work that out in my head. I know 20th is 2 points. 19th will be 4. 80. Yes, P17. You are correct. You know more than me. The grid. Here's what it looks like then. Sebastian Hallmichael's going to be starting on pole. Ika LaQuay in second, and Ryan Smith, who we just spoke to, in third. Peter Jones, 2 Meatball Lovers cars in the top 4. Impressive show for them so far. Jared Kaler 5th, Chris Smith in 6th, John Bailiff 7th, Henry Morse 8th, Donny Alf Henriksen 9th, Morgan Burkhardt 10th, Jake Cranston and Stephen King rounding off your top 12. And that everyone is already on the grid. Look, I didn't even get to do the rest. They've all readied up extra quick time. Sebastian Hallmichael's your pole sitter. There he is. He gets a decent start as well, does Seb. Ika Lequay can't do anything about it. Ryan's going to get straight past Ika, though. Look at that. Ika Lequay, too much wheel spin on the start. Sebastian Hallmichael leads into turn 1 quite fairly as well. And look at the gap that he's got already as he comes round turn 1. Look in the background, though. What is going to be happening back there? Is anyone going to have any issues? There's a couple of side-by-siders. Thomas Berlin's looking to gain some places. He's in P18 at the moment. Joshua Germany is going to be the one flying through. He's the one to watch. He had pace earlier. Now he's finally on the back of the train, and he wants to cut through the field as much as he can. So he started fairly down the order. He's got the person who took him out in the last race ahead of him. Can he keep it clean? That's the question. People going side by side into the chicane. That was Ryan and Ika. Oh, there's touch. Ryan goes across. That's going to be a slowdown for Ryan Smith as Peter Jones goes off as well. He's gone well off the track. Ryan Smith definitely going to have a slowdown there, I think. He's going to have to serve that safely and out of the way. I wonder. He has read the brief in. He moves over. He does get there safely. There he goes. He's serving it. He's trying not. Henry Morse has to shoot down the inside. He's actually in the middle of the track, is Ryan. Fairly dangerous, but what can he do? And he's got a whole train of Jettas behind him. Jared Kaler is your nemesis, is he? Well, he's up there in P4 at the moment. Henry Morse trying to get past him as they all come round. There's a spin back there. That was potentially, I don't know, it was an orange car. So was it Peter Jones again? I'm not sure about that one, actually. Let's see if I can find a replay of that. I think it is Peter Jones. It is. Just gets turned in. Turns into Joshua. Not Joshua Germany. That will be Henry Morse or Stephen King. Christopher Smith's gone off track. Oh, there's Chris Smith touching Ika. They've both gone off. Jared Kaler and Henry Morse and John Bailiff are going to go through. Oh, Henry Morse doesn't let Chris come back onto the circuit. Oh, Chris has been shafted there. Definitely. Absolutely shoved off. I don't know what Henry was thinking there, to be honest. Joshua Germany's had an off track as well. Contact everywhere, and there it is again. The Lurchus Gaming Cars. Big crash at the back. Rolling all over the place. Someone's in the air on the roof. Look at that. It's hectic back there. They don't want to be pitting this early. Christian Ribeiro's involved, and Joshua Germany's got a blown engine. That is their race over. From going, looking like he had the pace and a potential win, now look at what has happened to Joshua Germany's final race weekend here in the Volkswagen Jetta Cup. Shall we have another look at that, but in slow motion? Let's see if we can break down what happened. So Jesus is sideways. Joshua's on the grass, and Christian actually has contact with Chris. Comes across, sends Joshua's car around. It might be good to have a look on board Josh's car. And then there's the Masters of Torque car, sends him round even more. And I think it's Christian Ribeiro who's in the air. Look, this is what he's experiencing. He got some good, look how high he went. All he can see is cars all over the place. Goodstudge 93 has a sad face. He was supporting Joshua Germany this week. And it's sad to say, I think his race is over. Let's get back to the action up the front end. 3 minutes in, I don't think they'll make it to the end on fuel. So it'll be a second stop for all of those in the pit lane. Peter Jones, Chris Smith, Thomas Berlin, Joshua Germany and Christian Ribeiro. As Seb goes off by himself. Oh, slides back on the circuit as Henry Morse is going to go around the outside and try and take the lead. He's going to. Henry Morse takes the lead of the feature race. Jared Kaler's going to follow him through. And look who else is up there. Morgan Burkhardt find himself up in a podium spot as well. They're going to make it 3 wide as they head down towards the fast left-hander. It's not really a braking zone. Seb's going to be a little bit frustrated with himself there. He's going to hold the inside with Morgan Burkhardt round his outside, though. And behind them is John Bailiff and Jake Cranston. So that was Stephen King down the order earlier. I don't know what happened to him at the start. But Sebastian Hallmichael trying to hold around the outside of the final corner. John Bailiff's there as well. There's always more crashes in the feature for whatever reason. Double points are on offer. They should be taking it safer, but not this time round. Stephen King down in 11th place, so he's made no gains. Ryan Smith sets the fastest lap, a 1:25.7 down there in the mid-pack. Seb under pressure from everyone as John Bailiff and Morgan Burkhardt are going to try and come through on the inside. 3 wide as they go up the hill. Look at this. Seb on the outside. 3 wide all the way. They're still 3 wide going up the hill. And now they're on the straight. Seb's going to come out on top. That's brilliant driving from all of them. Jared Kaler's going to be pushing Henry along. Those two good mates outside of the Volkswagen Jetta Cup. Both American drivers. John Bailiff's being pushed along by Morgan Burkhardt. Seb's being pushed along by Jake Cranston. It's still 2x2 as they head towards the chicane. John Bailiff comes out on top. Takes P3 in the feature race. And Seb Holmichael's still under pressure from Morgan Burkhardt. Round the outside, they're going to make it 3 wide into the fast right-hander. Don't do that, boys. I'll tell you what that was nearly. That was nearly one of these moments. Oh, no. We want to see the battling. We don't want to see this. Let's get back to it. There we go. That's what we want to see. Unbelievable stuff. John Bailiff comes out on top in that battle, and now he's going to chase down Jared Kaler and Henry Morse. Could he get a win? He's only got 1 win to his name this season, and it was because Jake Cranston had a penalty after his win and lost a bit of time. Got a time penalty, moved John Bailiff up to a win. He could do it today on merit. Jake Cranston now looking up the inside of Seb Holmichael. Alpha Henriksen finds himself up there again. But maybe slightly frustrated to see John Bailiff up in P3 because that's who he's fighting for that P4 spot in the championship. Jesus can win, fueled by the power of friendship. Ellen Brown says we got strolled. Monaco race directors have been fired. It's fine. But look at the Meatball Lovers cars side by side now. Jake Cranston moves up into P5. Chasing down Morgan Burkhardt. So Seb's losing places again. He needs to just keep it clean, does Seb. He knows these guys might be slightly faster. But he can stay with them if he can keep it clean. As Andy Fox goes for an opportunistic move. He's going to go around the outside of chicane. Oh, he can't get it done there. Stephen King is going to make it 2x2 into the fast right-hander. Andy Fox on his inside. Seb's still in front. Where is Stephen going to position his car as he comes flying around here? I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to have a look what it looks like on board his car. So he's in the slipstream. He's going to have Andy Fox somewhere around him. I'm guessing Andy's on his right-hand side right now. The gap is only 600, so Andy is definitely still there. It's now a 10th, so Andy's broken slightly earlier. Stephen holds it round. He uses all the tracks, so Stephen up into P9 ahead of Andy Fox. Now trying to pass Sebastian Hallmichael. Is he going to do it into turn 1? This is always something I wonder. Do they commit to the move? John Bailiff sets the fastest lap. No, Jake Cranston does. 125.3. He does commit to the move to the inside of turn 1. So he doesn't wait for the slipstream. There's a lot of smoke up ahead. It's contact. It's Morgan Burkhardt and Jared Kaler. That's the 2 lead drivers. Henry Morse has got away with it. Jared Kaler and Morgan Burkhardt down the order. There's a bit of contact with Stephen there. We need to see what's going on the outside. Kieran Dempsey's getting feisty and trying to get through. Seb Holmichael's coming back, as is Andy Fox. It's all kicking off in the feature race. Our final round of the Volkswagen Jetta Cup. And Jared Kaler and Morgan Burkhardt come together right now, all over the track. Henry Morse, though, 1.7 second lead from John Bailiff, who's now in P2. Oh, Andy Fox getting squeezed off the chicane there by Seb Holmichael. I wonder if he's going to get a slowdown for that. I'm sure we'll find out shortly. Stephen King, though, now up into P6. Donny Alpha Henriksen still P5. Ryan Smith is up into P4. So he's done well. Well, he's dropped a place, but he's still up there as Jake Cranston's actually passed John Bailiff now. I hope John hasn't just let him pass in the hope that Jake will bring them all with him. We've seen a lot of people do that this season. Not let Jake pass, but let people pass hoping to be pulled along by the slipstream and then it not working. Let's see if we can find a replay of that crash. Oh, it looked like it actually might have started before that. Might have been contact with John Bailiff there. Here it is. Oh, big old send from John. Taps him round. He actually holds it, but then the contact from Morgan is what causes the big crash. Morgan goes round, as does Jared in the background. Oh, dear. I think Morgan is saying that he's out of the race, so he might have actually called it a day after that. Henry Morse has had a little off-track moment. It's going to be a small one, I imagine. Carried too much speed through this. Yeah, There he goes. Comes back on. No problem. Let's go back live. And this is what it looks like. Henry Morse has got Jake Cranston right behind him. And look, I said, John is now 6 tenths behind. Morgan is still in the race. I don't know. It must have been... it said pit out, so he was leaving the pits. And Morgan could make it to the end, actually, as Henry Morse comes into the pits. Takes an early pit stop, does Henry Morse. 10 minutes in, 15 minutes to go. The final round. We need to have a look. This is what it looks like. Those of them that are coming in the pits. Henry Morse, Andy Fox, Jesus Amundere and Jan Weiswanger. We saw a load of people come in early on, and we know that they... Well, they're not in the top 10 right now, but they are going to struggle to get to the end in the fuel tanks. John Bailiff being pressured by Ryan. Look, Ryan's going to try and make a move up into P2. Backs out of it, slots back in behind. So they're trying... Now they're thinking about the pit stop strategy. They're trying not to battle too much. Jake Cranston still right ahead, only 4 tenths of a second. Ryan Smith 3 tenths back. Donny Alpha Henriksen in that train. And Stephen King then a further nearly second back. Dan Thornton's having a hell of a race. He's up 5 places. Under pressure here, though, from Chris Smith, who's down in 20th place. Trying to unlap himself. That's Ika up ahead. I can hear a lot of smoke up there. I don't know if someone's just span or it's just tyre squeal as they send it round the fast left. But Dan Thornton chasing down Ika Lequay for P8 for a really decent finish. We've seen more people come into the pits. That's Jake Cranston, Ryan Smith, Donny Alpha Henriksen, Kieran Dempsey. John Bailiff is staying out. I don't know if that's a good idea with Slipstream being so strong here, to be honest. Morgan Burkhardt, he's currently in P11 here. He's got Peter Jones for company and Jesus Amundere. Coming round the second to last corner, heading towards the final corner. Ryan Smith will be leaving the pits, I'm sure, any second now. Alpha Henriksen's out already. So's Jake Cranston. So's Ryan Smith. Kieran Dempsey and Dan Thornton. So they're all coming out the pits. So Morgan might not make it to the back of this train, but he could still potentially close the gap. It depends how the rest of the race goes. He's coming down the main straight now, so they're only a corner and a bit ahead. If he can get to the train, then it might be worth it. John Bailiff still hasn't pit. Is he going to pit this time? This is what it looks like in terms of pit stops. So Ika Lequay, Seb Holmichael, Stephen King and John Bailiff still haven't pit. Jared Kaler has. He's in P19. Saw him behind John Bailiff there. In the matte red and chrome United Kingdom livery. And both of them come in. So now it's going to be interesting to see. Oh, Seb comes right over into the pit entry. Chris Smith being pushed there by the Lurchus Gaming car as they come down the main straight. Where is your leader? It's Henry Morse. He's coming around the final corner now. You've got to say this is going to be a done deal for Henry. He's got Jake for company still. I think they're going to have got the proper jump, the proper undercut on these guys. John Bailiff is coming out of the pits now, but look at that. Look at the lead that they've got. They're coming around the first corner. Henry Morse and Jake Cranston are going to be much further up the road. So staying out did cost John some time. 1.4 seconds, 1.8 seconds to be exact. Still got Ryan Smith for company, but now they've got a bit of work to do. In the next 12 minutes of this race, can he close that 2-second gap whilst Jake Cranston and Henry battle it out up the front end for a feature race win? Jake looks like he's not actually doing anything about it. He's just pushing Henry along. He wants to extend that gap and doesn't want to fight, so he's playing it smart. We've had a few nightmares this race. Very few. I'll tell you what, Stephen King's done well. He's come out in 6th place. And you can see Ryan Smith and Alpha Henriksen up the road. Not far up the road either, as Ryan's trying to get past Donny. In fact, Jake and Henry, Donny and Ryan are the closest two battles on track right now, and Chris and Christian Ribeiro. You got to say that's going to be done fairly soon. Surely, Chris and Christian down in 20th and 21st place. Coming up the hill now, Chris is going to be pushing him along. Can he move out to the inside? No. Can he move out to the outside? No. This is the other 2x2 battle. It's Henry and Jake in the lead. So Jake all over him. He's trying to... Is he looking to make this position? Or is he just trying to hold station for the last 10 minutes? 1.8 seconds the gap now. So 2 tenths John Bailiff has closed there. Last lap time for John Bailiff, 25.5. 26.1 for Henry. 25.7 for Jake. 1.6 seconds the gap now. Ika Lequay is closed in on Dan Thornton too. We can get rid of the pit stops. So Ika's looking to get a P8 finish. But Dan Thornton, do you know what? He's having a cracking round at Watkins. I can't remember where he finished last time round. But to be in P8 now, on merit as well, there hasn't really been... I mean, there was a big crash, but it was at the back of the field. So Dan Thornton up in P8 with Morgan Burkhard down there in P10. He's had an off track. That's what the orange number means. That would have been round the fast left. There they are in the background, look. As I think Ryan and John, look at these guys battling. And Jake Cranston and Henry are also going side by side up the hill. Henry moves right over. Has he just let him through? Are they going to continue this battle? They're going down the back straight. Jake's got the move done early. There's still 9 minutes to go, boys. Look at the battle behind as well. Those guys all over each other. Alpha Henriksen, John Bailiff, Ryan Smith, and look who's joining. Stephen King joining this train now. For what turned from 2x2 battles. There's now a little train of 4 trying to get through, and John Bailiff comes out on top in that fight. P3 still. But 2 seconds the gap now. They can't be fighting this hard forever. They've got to hope for a crash up ahead, I think, if they want the win now. The gap went down to 1.6 seconds. It's now back up to 2.2. The question is, which one of these 4 is faster? That's the question in all racing, actually. When people are fighting, who's faster? Who comes out on top? It's not always the fastest that come out on top. Thomas Berlin was in chat earlier. Said he needed a P17 for the Masters of Talk team. And here he is in P15. So he's doing his target for the final round. Peter Jones comes in the pits for a second time. Tumbling down the order is Peter Jones. Let's get back to that 3-4-way battle. John Bailiff still under pressure. Stephen King going up the inside. Donny's going to try and move over. Is Stephen going to back out of this? No. He's still there. They're going to go 3 wide into the chicane. Surely not. Oh, Donny turns in. Gets it stuck. Ryan actually loses the position there. 2.5 seconds now. The gap to Henry Morse in second. That could have been disastrous for these guys in the top. Donny needs the points. John needs the points. I'll tell you what has helped them massively. Joshua Germany down in P15. Jared Kaler down in P19. That would have helped him as well. Shall we have a quick reminder of what P4 looks like in the standings? Ryan Smith, Joshua Germany, John Bailiff, Donny Alpha Henriksen, and Jared Kaler. Donny Alpha Henriksen, Ryan Smith, and John Bailiff all in the top 6. Jared Kaler, Joshua Germany down in the bottom 5, bottom 6. So this could have swings and roundabouts in the championship for sure. Henry still not close enough to make a move on Jake in the lead. Morgan Burkhardt, though, putting under pressure Dan Thornton, who is no longer fighting Ika. This is what it looks like. That's actually Christian in front of them, so that's a lapped car. Oh dear, John Bailiff's had an issue at the front end. That would have been a move into the chicane. I made the Stroll joke earlier, and he's still off the track, is John Bailiff. He's tumbling down the order. I could see him in the distance there. Morgan can't get this move done, not just yet. There's another 3 wide battle, that's why. Oh, Donny turns in, there's a car on his inside, John goes round. Oh, well that is the risk you take with the 3 wide fight into the chicane. Donny turned in, John had nowhere to go. The meat in a sandwich, the meat in a meatball lover's pulses sandwich. He actually comes back on fairly quickly, does John Bailiff, and I think damageless. So it's not all over. Morgan Burkhardt comes into the pits for a second time. Actually, I would like to see that again, but from John's point of view. Oh, good. Thank you for that. Yeah, what can you do? There's a car on his inside, the other car's turning in. Round he goes. What about from Stephen's point of view? 2 cars on his outside. He's got nowhere to go. That's going to be a difficult one, for sure. Really difficult. Back to the live action. Henry's looking a little bit closer than before, as Chris moves out of the way nicely. Christopher Smith down in 20th place at the moment, getting the last 2 points on the grid. Ryan Smith is chasing down Donny for P3. Here they are, coming around the final corner. 4 tenths to go. 5 tenths as Donny's actually pulling away slightly there on the exit of that corner. 6 tenths, 7 tenths. He's flying round the final corner is Donny Alpha Henriksen. Stephen King only a second behind. He's got Kieran Dempsey for company. And John Bailiff now 7.5 seconds back. So you've got to say he's out of that, at least this race's fight. But he's going to get a decent amount of points still for P7. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm sure he's had worse rounds, so it won't be a drop round. I'll tell you who was in chat earlier. They might have left because of how the sprint race went. There's only 2 minutes left. Lurchus Gaming boys, where you at? For Guelthio. All of you. I don't know if I can remember any more names without absolutely butchering them from my memory. What was there? There was Figuelthio, Argonaut. Haven't seen him today. Oh, Equal Argonaut, as I say that. There he is. Never mind. Who else? I feel like there's another. There's another Lurchus Gaming supporter that I am forgetting. Adolf something. Something along those lines. Peter Jones is looking to pass Jeremy Agard in P13. What I was going to say, Lurchus Gaming, Ika Lequay P8, Jesus Amundre P10. What a points haul for those two. With 1.5 minutes to go, Peter Jones looks like he might be getting past here. Around the outside of the chicane. Ooh, it's going to be tight through there. They go side by side. Jerry tries holding it. Peter Jones is still there. Can he hold it around the outside for the next bit? No. Has to slot in behind. It was a good effort though. And nice and clean. You can see the licenses on the back actually. Jerry an A-class. Peter Jones a C. You wouldn't have guessed it from how tight they went through there. Henry Morse is looking closer than ever. There's contact. Jake shuts the door. Slams the door in his face. Literally heard the contact as we came to it. And now he's going to have to move over to the left-hand side. He looks like he's still got the run. It hasn't quite ruined it. Is he going to commit to it round the outside? He does. He's there. He's got it. Henry Morse is going to barge his way through. He can't quite get it in. Jake Cranston goes a little bit wide on exit. No, Henry Morse has to stay in second place. Figuelthio says maybe Jesus can give us a surprise. Go Henry, says Ben Moore. Sad day for Chris, third to last place. Indeed. I'm here, mate, but it's a sad day for the Lurchus team. Okay. Well, it's apart from Christian, in terms of racecraft, it's a big points haul Might get one of them in for an interview if they're available. We'll see. But we need to keep an eye on this. There's only 6 seconds left. And I know I get told off for this a lot, but is this checkered flag? Because if it is checkered flag, then Jake Cranston, it is a checkered flag. Jake Cranston comes home and takes another feature race win with Henry Morse in second. Donny Alpha Henriksen brings home third. Ryan Smith brings home fourth. Stephen King comes fifth in the end. Kieran Dempsey behind. Ike LeQuay and John Bailiff. Oh, it was close between those two in the end as well. Dan Thornton is going to come home with a P9 to his name. P10 for Jesus and Mundere. Jan Weiswanger comes home in P11. He'll be happy with that as well. Big old points haul for Jan. Morgan Burkhardt comes home in a sombre P12, shall we say, after fighting early on. Got to think, did Henry let Jake pass in the hope of repassing on the last lap? Potentially. Maybe they did think it was another lap. Peter Jones is going to come home in P13. Andy Fox, P14. Jerry Agard and Thomas Berlin. I wonder, actually, did they end up stopping again? They did. Seb only did the one stop. We've said it once, we'll say said it 1,000 times. Why do the wheels not move? They're celebrating. This is Donut City. You have to do your donuts in reverse. We're a bit too far away, actually. Where's the... There we go. And what a way to sign off the Volkswagen Jetta Cup. Your championship leader there, Jake Cranston, Masters of Torque, came out of nowhere. It's got to be said. Recognised his name slightly from the Simlab Production Car Challenge. He was always in the top 25. You got to say, question begs, why is Josh doing donuts? Other than him celebrating, of course. A lovely season. Jake can probably take us on a parade lap, or is he going to escape? He's going to escape. Off he goes. Dan Thornton still out there. Look at the ORD boys coming home in formation. All three of them. Well, the other two are driving off, leaving Dan behind. Peter Jones is still out there as well. There he is, just parked up at the exit of turn 1. It's it's a sad day, isn't it, people? I'm almost lost for words, and I'm hoping that they've all had a good time over the last 13 weeks. Let's have a look at your feature race results. There we go. So Jake Cranston comes home. He is your winner yet again. Another win for Jake Cranston. Taking it home for Masters of Torque. Your championship winner for the first ever season of the Volkswagen Jetta Cup here on the Racing Line channel. The first live series we've ever done on the channel. And it's been a pleasure. Henry Morse comes home in second in the end. Henry Morse, the one that shows up sometimes, brings all the pace, or leaves all the pace at home. Thank you for the season. It's been fun and helpful, says Brian Ringle. No worries. Donny Alpha Henriksen claims another podium for the Meatball Lovers team. And he has been... Oh, that's what I was saying, actually, when I lost my train of thought. So Jake Cranston, coming into the season, Stephen King was a strong championship favourite. We'd all seen him on top of the Simlab Production Car Challenge. He had a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Along came Jake, and about 3 rounds in, the pressure actually got lifted off of Stephen King a little bit, and it was like, who is Jake Cranston? He has now solidified himself as one of the fastest, and this is genuine, by the way. I know I've said this a few times, as one of the fastest Jetta drivers on iRacing. And yeah, here he is, and I think they can all be proud of themselves, actually, in terms of this season. It's been a tight field all the way along. There's been crashes. There's been penalties. Henry Morse comes home in second. Donny has always found himself up there in the top end. Very rarely has he made a mistake. I mean, we'll go through and watch and see if he ruins that clean driver award, see if he might get a penalty today, but I don't know. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Ryan Smith comes home in P4 in the end for ORD. Stephen King gets P5, Kieran Dempsey P6, John Bailiff P7, Ika Lequay, Dan Thornton and Jesus Mundere 8, 9 and 10. Jan Weiswanger P11, Morgan Burkhardt P12, Peter Jones P13, Andy Fox 14, Jeremy Agard and Thomas Berlin P16, 15 and 16. So Thomas Berlin hit his target. Sebastian Hallmichael P17, Joshua Germany in P18. And rounding off the field was Jared Kaler and Chris Smith and Christian Ribeiro down there in the bottom end of the field. The last points going to Chris Smith this time round. Let's have a look. It's interview time, isn't it? It is interview time. What have I missed in chat? Great series, JJ, says Paddy008. Thank you very much. Well done, Jack. Done an awesome job and it's been fun to watch. Good, and thank you all, of course. We can't go through all this without thanking family members and friends of all the drivers and anyone who actually isn't related to them at all coming to support the series. It's been great fun. Let's have a quick look in our interview section. Donny Alpha Henriksen. It's been a while since we've spoke to him. Here he is. P3, Donny. How are you feeling?
That couldn't have gone much better, to be perfectly honest with you.
You're happy with the P3 then?
I was never going to beat Jack Cranston. Zero chance. Henry Morse, zero chance.
Oh, you don't know these things. It could happen. You never know. They might have had a coming together. They got pretty feisty in the chicane. But a P3 in the end. Actually, Donny, you talk us through. Not to put a downer on it, but I would like to know how, or your perspective of, there was an incident with you, yourself, Stephen King and John Bailiff at some point, but it was really close racing all the way through. What was it like from your perspective? Do you remember what happened?
Yes, and I also had a look at the replay after. So we were going 3 wide into the bus stop, and I was on the far left. And I braked a little bit later than them and cut in front of John. And then something happened, and John and Stephen came together behind me.
Yeah, it's always a risk of a 3 wide into a fast chicane. But in the end, P3 up 6 places from where you started.
Yeah, that's excellent. Excellent.
It was a great race, Donny. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Obviously, I'm not that good at maths to work out drop rounds in my head, so it will be within the week. I'll probably do another live stream to confirm the final order, and we'll find out exactly where you finished. But it's a close fight for P4. Do you reckon you've done enough?
I think I might be a few points behind.
Oh, it might be close. It might be close.
I'm just guessing because I don't have the Excel spreadsheet with me. I'm just guessing I'm a couple of points behind.
Of course. And as per usual, before I let you go, congrats on your P3. Is there anyone that you want to say hello or thank you to before we say goodbye for the final time this season?
Shout out to the Meatball Lovers, Sebastian and Peter. It's been a lot of fun driving with you. Been very interesting. We've had some good races. We've had some incidents. It could have been amazing at Summit Point, and it could have also been amazing today. But it doesn't always go to plan. But it's been a lot of fun. This is one of the best. This series league is one of the best experiences I've ever had in video gaming. Definitely the best I've ever had in sim racing. So yes, I just want to say that. Thanks for setting this up.
No worries. That is a strong statement, Donny. Thank you very much for that. And thank you for being here every step of the way. Well, I will speak to you again soon, of course. Thank you one last time. And congrats on your podium.
Cheers. See you soon.
Donny Alpha Henriksen there. Nice guy. He's in the interview rating room, so I'll give him a quick chat. Don't know what he's waiting for. Don't know why he wants to speak to us today, Joshua Germany. Maybe it's because he's got some supporters in the chat today. And what a show you put on for them, Mr. Germany. How are you feeling after today's race?
Not the kind of show I wanted to put on, but it's just meh. It's just I wanted to talk to you just to vent my frustration, really, more than anything.
Vent your frustration. Well, you got the sprint race. Tell us what happened in the sprint race first.
Well, Well, I'm on the inside for the bus stop. I'm not. I think there's an ORD car on my left. I've nearly got my nose alongside, but I was never gonna go for the move. So I broke only just a bit earlier than him, and then I've looked at Jesus kills me.
Yeah. Right, now,
just
thou shalt not kill. You survived and you finished.
Well, I'm trying to turn the other cheek, Jack, but I can't. It was just his car was angled to the left for a right-hander, and then obviously he touched the grass, and yeah.
We saw it on the stream where he broke on the grass and it just shot him to the right, and it looked like he actually was never going to make the move. It looked like he went to your inside to avoid you in a way. And then obviously that ended that race. And then was it the same? Oh, actually no, I remember the feature race one. So it was Jesus was there again, but it wasn't really Jesus' fault this time, was it?
Well, I think it is.
Do you reckon?
Because there was the ORD car slowing down on the right hand side, but there must have been 2.5 car widths between me and the ORD car. But then Jesus just comes over to the right into my line, and then at that point it was that was it.
But then, see, that's the first phase of this accident. The big phase that I think
that bit
actually
is painful to watch.
That killed it was obviously there was another Lurchus car that came together with Chris Smith was the ORD car, I believe, and that sent him right towards you and Jesus. That's what triggered the whole. Well, I think the only actual big crash in the feature race today.
Oh, great.
Which again involved you today, and you had pace today. We was looking forward to it.
I was so quick on the opening laps, both of the races. I think I made 3 moves in the first lap on both the races. I was flying, but then I died.
That was it, and that is how.
That's
that
it,
is
yeah.
it. So not the end to the season that you wanted, but
No, definitely not.
Is there, before I let you go, is there anyone you want to say hello or thank you to?
I knew this question was coming.
You knew
I
it.
wonder how I could tell.
It's every time.
No, apart from you.
Oh.
It's
And that's
just
big,
been-
people, as well,
it's been
because Josh
class.
thanks no one.
No, I don't know, especially not Jesus this race.
He does not.
But
believe
yeah,
in
it's
Jesus.
been class. I think I said in the interview early in the season I wasn't going to do it. I'm glad I have, because it's so well organised, and how it's presented, and watching the streams back, it's top quality. And even the drivers who've got in as well, there'll be about 20 of us in the Discord straight after, all talking to each other, having a bit of banter, and it's just a nice group of drivers. So it's just, yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I've been in leagues in the past, and it's never been as friendly, talkative, and just the way it is. It's brilliant. I think I'll probably do season 2.
Oh, spoiler.
Well, I hope there's a season 2. You can't leave us all hanging like this.
Well-
We've got 30 drivers to look after.
We'll see. Well, thank you very much, Josh. Congrats on your, I don't even know where you finished today. P18 in the feature.
Thank you very much.
And we'll speak to you soon.
See you later, mate.
Kind words from Joshua Germany, hinting at the fact of a season 2. Amazing announcing, says Ben Morse. Thank you, Benjamin. Mondays will never be the same, says Jerry. Amazing season. Been here since the media test day and loved every race. Well done to you, Jack, and all the team. Thank you, Ellen. I feel a void inside me from now on Mondays at 2020. Where will we race next? Only Jesus knows. In Jesus we trust. F's in the chat for Germo. Yes, indeed. Jesus thought he was a cow, tried to eat a bit of grass. Don't blame him. That is it. Jesus does feel that way. I'm trying to think. Is there anyone else? Where is? I feel like we should have a word. And he is in the chat. That's good. We can't end the season. We can't end the season without one final word with Mr. Cranston, the first ever Volkswagen Jetta Cup champion.
Hello.
Hello, Jacob Cranston. Mr. Cranston, how...
It's the Jetta Champion to you.
It's the Mr. Jetta Champion. How was that? How was your final round?
It was great. I was just out there having some fun, and it turned out pretty well, didn't it?
It did. I was, in my own head, I was thinking that you might start from the back today, just to see where you'd finish. But at the same time, at one point, I think I actually said in the sprint, maybe you're just hanging back for maybe a better feature race start. But absolutely not. Proved me wrong there. You fought through the field in both races. P2 and a P1, showing exactly why you came out on top throughout the season. So, was it fun, though, from your perspective, all the way through this race and the season?
Yeah, I mean, for this one, my original plan was I was going to see how the sprint race goes, and then I was going to decide if I'd start at the back or not. And I saw behind me there was a massive crash that caught up with everyone, and there was big gaps that formed.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I didn't really like the fact there was these big gaps, and I might not be able to close them in the feature, so I decided to just go for it.
Just went for it
But-
in the end.
Yeah, as the season as a whole, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been great fun racing with all these guys, and they're great lads as well, so it's been good.
Mr. Germany, who was in the interview room before you, he hinted at the possibility of a season 2, which of course has been discussed slightly. There is, whilst you're in here as the champion, we can say to our current audience now that obviously there's going to be a bit of a break now before season 2 even gets rolled out. But is it something that are you going to be defending your title if season 2 comes around?
Yeah, I've got to try. If not, I'm not going to do a Rosberg and just dip out.
Well,
So I'll give it a go.
That's what we like to hear. You can't do an eco. Do you know what? I was going to say something else, and I've completely forgotten what it was. I guess that's not going to come back. So, I remember actually. There is for those that don't know in the audience, Mr. Cranston is a meme maker, shall we say, the meme lord of the group. There's a nice meme for you in the stream, but you got to watch it all to find it. That's
I always watch them all. It's fine.
There you go. So I hope you enjoy it. I know the audience did, but that's pretty much it. Is there anything you want to say for one last time, Jake, before I let you go? Is there anyone you want to say hello to? Blah blah blah.
I mean, I've been thanking people throughout the season, but this time I've got to thank you. It's been a great season. Thank you for putting it on. I know it's a lot of hard work, and you've been up very late some nights doing it. So thank you very much from everyone. I think it's been great.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Jake. Kind words as always. We'll speak to you soon.
See ya.
And there he is, your Volkswagen Jetta champion. He's done everything he needed to do. He's taken the most wins. He's taken the most podiums. He's taken the most fastest laps. In the end, it wasn't close enough for fastest laps to make a difference. But here he is, look. This is his celebration. Drifts it round turn 1. And then does he do his donuts straight away? This will be a good shot to end on, won't it? Him doing his donuts. I don't want to say goodbye, guys. 13 weeks. 13 weeks we've been doing this. 12 weeks of racing, 2 test days. The idea was born in January, and here we are. End of May. Bank holiday. And it is the end. There will be one more stream to announce the official results and the final finishing positions with the drop rounds, which may either be on Monday or it'll be at some point throughout the week. So keep an eye out for that. As usual, that is pretty much it from me. And I'm not going to see you next week for the Volkswagen Jetta Cup, but of course there will be videos on the channel as usual. Keep those likes and comments coming in, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Don't forget, the road to 3,000 competition starts now. We're aiming for 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button now. Share it with people who are also interested in racing. We need to get that number by the first week of October. We've got 4 months to get to 3,000 subscribers. We're currently on 2,100. So thank you all again for your support thus far. It's been a pleasure meeting you all. And if I don't see you on track this week, I'll see you next week for the next video here on the Racing Line. Peace.